channel Learnagize, where you learn to strategize your studies. Hi, I hope all of you are doing fine, and thank you so much for all the love and support that you've been providing me all throughout my journey. Okay, so here we are with the third part of the short story, The Bet by Anton Chekhov. And in this part, we'll finish the entire story. So, before beginning or before moving on, I'll quickly take you through whatever we've covered till now. So we know by now that the story is about a silly bet that was laid between the banker and a lawyer, wherein both of them had different point of views on the imprisonment that can be given to a prisoner. So the banker was in favor of capital punishment and the lawyer was in favor of life imprisonment. And to prove their mettle, they laid down this silly bet for a sum of $2 million that the banker promised to pay the lawyer if he agreed to spend 15 years of his life in imprisonment. So we saw how this the bet was laid down, what were the terms and conditions which were laid down in the agreement, what was the situation that was created, how was the contact of the lawyer maintained with the outside world. It was only through a small window that was there in the lodge where he was staying for this long period. And we also saw the reactions of the lawyer, the way he evolved as a prisoner in that solitary lodge. Okay. And there was a great level of learning also that happened with the lawyer. There were ups and downs during his period of imprisonment, and now we'll see what happens next. This was the time which is already gone, the time of the past. Now comes the present moment. Let's see the issues, that the restlessness that the banker is facing now, and how is the lawyer more subtle and more settled. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so we ended where the lawyer was being compared to a man swimming in the middle of a sea where his ship was broken and where he's trying to clasp to any small object or any small hope of life that he could get, a small log of wood there. But here we're talking about different subjects or different books that he was trying to grasp and learn to give some direction and some object or some objective to his life. Okay. Now comes the present moment, and the old banker remembered all this and thought, tomorrow at 12 o'clock he will regain his freedom. So now is the time. So today, what is the date when the entire story is laid down? The present moment is the 13th of November 1885. Because if you remember, the date when the challenge started was 14th of November 1870. And it was supposed to end on 14th of November, 12 o'clock, 1885. एक दिन पहले है because he's saying tomorrow at 12 o'clock he will get back his freedom. तो अभी 13th of November, 1885 है. Maybe a small question can come up. By agreement, I ought to pay him 2 millions. If I do pay him, it is all over with me. I shall be utterly ruined. So in other words, he says, a banker अपने आप में, he's just thinking and talking to himself. He says by the agreement obviously, कल 12 बजे तक वो यहीं पे रुकेगा to complete the challenge, and if he completes the challenge, I'll have to pay him $2 million, which was promised and agreed upon in the challenge or in the bet. If I do pay him, it is all over for me. I shall be utterly ruined. In other words, अब वो कह रहा है कि मेरे पास $2 million इकट्ठे करके उसको दे पाने का मतलब ये है कि मैं completely broken हो जाऊंगा. In other words, I'll be completely ruined. 15 years before, he had many millions. He had lost a great deal of money in gambling. कैसे खो दिए उसने सारे पैसे? 15 साल पहले उसके पास बहुत सारे पैसे थे. Now he has lost all his money. Why? Because he got into the habit of gambling. Gambling यानी betting. So he says cursed bet. Cursed bet. In other words, the word cursed has been used as an adjective here and not as a verb to explain further about the bet. So he feels cursed bet. अब वो उसको लग रहा है क्या गंदी आदत मेरे में डल गई कि मेरे सारा पैसा चला गया. Muttered the old man, clutching his head in despair. So in other words, he feels कि मैंने ये क्या कर लिया और अपनी सारी लाइफ को ruin कर दिया. इन बेट्स के ऊपर, इन बेटिंग और गैम्बलिंग के ऊपर. वाई डिडंट द मैन डाई? अब उसको लग रहा है ये आदमी मर क्यों नहीं गया? अगर ये मर जाता तो ऑब्वियसली आई वुड नॉट हैव टू पे हिम एनीथिंग. He is only 40 now. He will take my last penny from me. He will marry, will enjoy life, will gamble, while I shall look at him with envy like a beggar and hear from him every day the same sentence. I am indebted to you for the happiness of my life. Let me help you. No, it is too much. The one means of being saved from bankruptcy and disgrace is the death of the man. ये थॉट्स हैं अभी बैंकर की करंट सिनेरियो में. सो व्हाट ही फील्स इज, ही सेज कि अभी द लॉयर, अब नाउ ही इज जस्ट ट्राइंग टू थिंक अबाउट द सिचुएशन कि कल के बाद होगा क्या. व्हाट विल हैपन? द लॉयर वुड कंप्लीट हिज बेट एंड वुड श्योरली गेट द $2 million फ्रॉम द बैंकर. अब बैंकर के पास तो उसके बाद पैसे बचेंगे नहीं. ओके, सो ही सेज अभी लॉयर की एज क्या होगी? ही विल जस्ट बी 40, क्योंकि व्हेन द बेट स्टार्टेड ही वाज जस्ट 25. सो अभी ही इज नॉट दैट ओल्ड, ही इज जस्ट 40. अब क्या होगा कल पैसे लेने के बाद? ही इज जस्ट 40. ही विल टेक माई लास्ट पेनी फ्रॉम मी, क्योंकि मेरे पास अब इसके बाद पैसे बचेंगे ही नहीं. सो ही विल टेक माई लास्ट पेनी. ही विल मैरी, अब वो शादी करेगा. ही विल सेटल हिमसेल्फ. ही इज एंजॉय हिज लाइफ. ही विल ऑल्सो गेट इनटू गैम्बलिंग, इन अदर वर्ड्स गेटिंग इनटू सम रिक्रिएशनल एक्टिविटीज. While I shall look at him with envy like a beggar. With envy means with jealousy. मुझे उससे जलन होगी. वाई? बिकॉज ऑल दीज ईयर्स, उससे पहले जब बेट स्टार्ट हुई थी उससे पहले द बैंकर वॉज मच बेटर financially than the lawyer. अब क्या होगा? When the lawyer is just 40 years old, the banker would be completely ruined. He would turn like a beggar, and उसको उससे जलन होगी क्योंकि बैंकर के ही